As you probably know, in the 1.1 version of WutheringWaves, we got a new region. This region is called Mount Firmament. This region not only includes new echoes, mats, and beautiful world building I'll probably make another video on in the future, but also new NPCs. You can probably be content counting NPCs to the world building, as they somewhat are, being entities that fill the world, but to me, they're somewhat special. You see, the NPCs in Mount Firmament, from quests to just being there to stand around, are mostly different from the ones in Jinso. For this video, even though we're almost through 1.1, I'll still give a spoiler warning. But without further ado, let's get into the video. NPCs. A notable strong point of KuroGames, in my opinion. In 1.0 already, we have amazing looking NPCs in all kinds of different clothing, body types, and hairstyles. Instead of being Child 123 or Soldier 123, most have their own personalities or at least look different, rather than being purely copy-paste. Of course, you can still find those too in the wild, but those assist you in fighting as best as they can, or fill the role of guard, so it doesn't really matter they're the same. I think a healthy balance between NPCs you see often being different, and NPCs you rarely see but they have a different function, so it's okay they're the same, is achieved here. Seeing as the game only came out 2 months ago, it would be completely understandable if Kuro just took an NPC, drew a quick jacket on, or excused it with heat patches and called it a day, but they didn't. The NPCs of Mount Firmament, probably my favorite NPC so far, besides our favorite gifted medicine ladies, are especially made for this region. Instead of using the cheap methods I've mentioned, something I noticed right off the bat, even in the trailer, were their special clothes. Let's analyze one for example. Instead of the somewhat breezy clothes of Jinso, this one wears a full-on coat and clothes fitting to the weather. Others wear little accessories like scarves and ear muffles, which makes this so much cuter and immersive to me. Of course, there are still some NPCs like the scientists that only wear their coats, but they're usually close to buildings, so they technically could go inside if they're cold. While at the same time, we're probably freezing to death without a special fit, especially because we had to go to the very tippy top of the highest mountain. But besides that, I do think that the NPCs really do elevate their region. One of these special NPCs is Xiangwe, who, after completing the main story, is waiting with a broken Guqin. The Guqin, without absolutely going too far into it, but I did make a post about it, is probably my favorite Chinese instrument. Instead of the dancing robot of Jinso, we have an NPC that, once you collect all the bells in Mount Firmament, continuously plays the Guqin. The introduction of these NPCs and their first assumed fate was really tragic. When you first arrive in Hongzun, the city in Mount Firmament, everyone is frozen over. A lot of NPCs were not only stopped in time, but also right before meeting their end, many being in the middle of being attacked or backstabbed. Not a single one outside of a little sanctuary seems to be alive, and this isn't only applicable to NPCs, enemies and creatures are as well, making the new island, or region if you prefer, though to me it's a bit too small for that, serenely beautiful but also very sad. Mentioning the sanctuary, a couple of the people of Hongzun were able to be saved, stuck in a little cave with... Did that ruin the mood? That totally ruined the mood, didn't it? Regardless, from what I gathered from the story, this is the former leader of Hongzun. Originally having retired, she reassumed the role of temporary leader for this disaster. Many of the NPCs inside the cave are hurt, laying on their sides or just sitting on the ground. While the sanctuary is beautiful, it still pulls you back to the reality of what's really going on with these people. After we solve their disaster, it doesn't really get better. While I don't know if these people are aware of their fate, because maybe I just didn't pay enough attention in the story, we do know something they maybe don't. Once these people leave the island, they're probably dead, or at least suddenly age a lot. You see, another tragic thing with these NPCs is that the time works differently in Mount Firmament. While I won't go too deep into the story in this one, you can play the main quest to find out more. Back to phrasing KuroGames though, something I noticed was that you can find many of the before frozen NPCs again once they're unfrozen. For example, we have this NPC. Though it's not exactly explained how they escaped the Fraxitus, especially mid-blow. I don't know if this is a plot point or I just wasn't paying enough attention, but let's just say the guards did it, okay? They just did it quickly. We have no plot holes in this game. Regardless, my point here is that the NPCs of Hongzhen are written really well. They've adapted to their surroundings and have a really tragic story revolving around them. And let's be honest, for a 1.1 version of a game, this, I think, isn't praised enough, and that's why I'm here. Anyways, what is your opinion on the people of Hongzhen? Do you have a favorite NPC? While I'd like to lie and say it's this one because I love the Guqin so much, I prefer our local hag. I hope you enjoyed and have a nice day. Bye bye.